How is your health actually?
It's better now, actually. It's my voice is okay, right? It's coming through okay, right?
Yeah, your voice is, I mean, melodious as always.
Thank you. No, actually, like I told you, right, I was not well. So, I mean, if you heard me a week ago, you'd be like, what is this?
You
So
were
that's why
going
I asked
through
first.
severe condition, right? Chronic things and all.
Yeah. Yeah, April did not go well. So, yeah.
So, how did you manage your personal life and professional life, work life in that condition? Cold, fever.
Work life, I will say I'm actually blessed to be in a company
Mhm.
where, in a project actually, which does prioritize my health a lot. So I did get quite a few sick leaves. I think I took like 2 to 3 sick leaves, and I also had a few compensatory offs. So yeah, my leads and my team members were very helpful, very considerate. So yeah, I did take quite a bit of leaves, and the medicines were going on, and I was skipping out on going to office for a few days. I talked with my HR. So yeah, I was managing it that way. I must say the company was very considerate with me.
All right. So let's
Yeah.
begin our conversation. You are working in
Yeah.
a TCS company, right?
Yes, I am still working there.
So, and what is your position there? I mean, which role you have there? Communication department or HR or?
No, no, I am not in communication or HR. I'm actually working in the IT itself, like the IT part of the company itself. So my domain is actually healthcare domain, and what I do is basically data cleaning.
Hmm.
So yeah, that's probably the shortest way I can, like, the gist of what I do, I can tell you. And along with that, I have some managerial work as well,
Hmm.
like uh, embarkation and then other works of auditing and all that. So yeah,
And
like
you're
some
working
managerial and some technical.
great. And I
So
guess
my designation, if you're asking, so my designation is system engineer.
system engineer. Basically,
Yeah,
you play game between datas and numbers and kind of, right? So,
that's right. That's right.
all right. So, and your working hour must be around 7 to 8 hours.
No, it's a minimum of 9 actually.
9 hours.
So my shift starts at, yeah, it's like in IT, we have a rule that the minimum is 9 hours and the maximum can go beyond 24. Yeah.
There is no such particular extent of maximum, right?
Yeah, right. No such extent of maximum. Like you can extend how much until the work is completed. So yeah,
So hectic. All right.
it is hectic, but I enjoy it. So it's
But I
fine.
guess you might have a lot of experience in the data field, right? And you have
I
been
won't
in
say
this.
a lot, but yeah, little
So
bit.
how long you
Yeah.
have been in this industry?
I've been only a little over 3 years. It's really
3 years.
nothing compared to some other people. Yeah.
So in that 3 year duration, have you ever think of starting your own business? I mean, about entrepreneurship. How about you will start your own company or your agency or your firm wherein you will be solving people's problem or you will create problem solving service or a product? So, I mean, did you never think about startup or something?
I No, I actually personally wouldn't say I thought about it,
Right.
but uh, yeah, it sounds lucrative, but it's also very daunting from the place that I am currently. Like, I'm very used to with this working in an order, right? But like entrepreneurship has a lot of what shall I say, ifs and buts, and lots of variables that come into play, right? So I don't think I'm currently ready for that variable to upheaval my life right now. So yeah, I can't say I have thought about it as such.
Hmm. So entrepreneurship, you think is not your cup of tea while having job in TCS company as a data man, right?
I No, I won't say it's not my cup of tea. It's mostly like at this current stage of my life, I think not.
Yeah,
Maybe in future,
because
yeah, I'll think about it. Maybe in the future, in maybe 5, 10 years, I will think about it. But right now, I feel like knowing the industry is more important to me, because even if I do an entrepreneurship, or even if I do open a firm or something, I think I will want to continue it in something based on the IT itself. So for that, I feel like I need to know the industry a little more, need to know the
Exactly.
positions
Hmm.
a little more in order to do that.
Actually,
So
yeah.
yeah, currently I will say I'm not in the position. Yeah.
Yeah, there was a great author. I mean, he is a great author, Robin Sharma. He said, if you want to disrupt
Yes.
any industry, first know the industry, then get into the industry, then boom the
Exactly.
industry. Right. So you,
Exactly. Like you got to do it from the inside.
mm,
Like I think the same thing was said by Chanakya as well. Like you got to do it from the inside, otherwise you won't get to know. Like you got to flow with the fishes if you want to know the river's way. Like
mm.
like it's kind of like that. So yeah, I need to
If
know
you
the
also
industry a
want
little
something,
more.
yeah, reciprocation, as we do, same will we get back. Right.
Yeah, yes, right. And since I'm working in a big cap, like in a large cap industry right now, like in a large cap company, knowing the industry is, I feel like a little more difficult than the people who are working in small cap. Because they, I feel like, have, like, since, the workforce is little, they
Mm.
actually have a lot more exposure till the CEO level or the higher ups and the higher managerial position. So they have a lot of direct communication with them. So I feel like it's a little easier for them to know that than in the large cap or the mid cap companies. Now, I could be wrong, but this is just from my personal experience. That's all.
No, it is actually fact. Because 9 hours minimum or 10 hours maximum, if someone is spending in his crucial time in the industry because of experience and expertise, once you will start knowing the industry, then at some point or the other point in life, you will have capabilities or you will be competent enough to boom that industry, right? So first we
Right.
need to be clueful, we need to be very inclined towards industry, gain knowledge, then create something, right? But
That is true. That is true. Also, like you need to know which niche you want to be like to be doing
yeah,
the business in.
explode it.
Yeah, there are so many niches out there. So yeah, it's a
Now
very
I guess nowadays
complicated jungle, so to say.
nowadays startup is like content creation. First define your niche, then
Yes,
analyze your competition
right,
and
right.
do something
Then you
unique.
get to know the audience market, and then you jump into it. Yeah, it's very daunting. I will say
Daunting,
that,
exactly.
but
Sounds
also very rewarding. That is true. Like
rewarding.
the initial struggle, if you can cross it, it's very rewarding.
See, where risk lies, it sounds very, really, kind of sort of lucrative, because once you will have the capability or strength of taking massive or gigantic risk, then you are the, very distinct, person in that. Because not everyone can
That
take
is
massive risk
true.
in that. Right?
Yes, that is true. But with this risk, I feel like this is where like the difference comes. Like some people do take that risk and then they fail, right? So like that calculated risk taking, I feel like it's a lot of it depends on how well the person is a strategy maker or how well he is reading the market, so to say. So
Mm.
I feel like I said, right, a lot of variables go into an entrepreneurship or building a company. Like it's a huge thing, and also building a company is basically you're building more work for people. That's
Exactly.
that's lucrative as well as a noble work. Like if I talk about social work like that, so it's also good like that way. It's self aggravating or like how shall I put it? Like self appeasing in that sense. So yeah.
So, moving towards, what do you think about investing and upstock market and all? Don't you invest in companies or buy shares apart from doing job
I
nine
do.
hours? You do.
Yeah, I actually do invest. I mean, I think I am probably like there is a rule, that 50-30-20 rule of your income, right?
Oh
I
yeah,
think I'm the only person who probably follows
follow
it in
that.
a different way. Like, yeah, like how so most people it say like 50% of your income
Salary.
you
Oh.
spend,
Mm, mm.
30% you save, and 20% you invest, right? I think I'm the only one who does 50% invest, 30% save, and 20% spend. So yeah, it's like that. So I actually have plans of early retirement for myself. I want to do that for myself. and
Hmm.
just live a quiet life somewhere out in the fields maybe. So yeah, I'm looking. So that's why I actually do invest, and I tell people around me to like invest more. That's a sure shot way. Like in the long run, it's a sure
Hmm.
shot way to freedom, financial freedom.
Exactly. It is one of the way to become financially free in life.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah, right. I mean, anyway, we do learn from Warren Buffett the seven streams, right?
Hmm.
It's definitely one of the most sworn
One of the most
streams.
dominant
So
force.
yeah,
Hmm.
yes, right.
And let's talk something about your content creation journey on YouTube, right? And
Yes, it has been at a little bit down for the last month. But yeah, I actually started pretty recently,
right.
just from January this year. And before that, again, like you said, in the content creation too, we need to first decide our niche, right?
Hmm.
So at one point in my life, I did think comedy skits would probably be my niche. Okay.
All right.
So, like acting is a passion for me. So I did think that. But then I thought maybe teaching could also be a niche. Like I
Hmm.
do teach kids in my free time actually. But that's like part of an NGO, so like nothing professionally. So I thought maybe I could leverage that as my content. But then I moved to something that I not only do for like my hobby, but it's something that also relaxes my mind. So
Hmm.
I finally chose music as my niche. Yeah. So
I heard
that's
your
how it
music
has
and
been.
songs on YouTube channel. I was, all the way perplexed. I was like, oh wow, how multiple skills you have, right? Singing, having
Thank you
better
so much.
communication, and all. Deserving.
Thank you so
So
much.
praiseworthy you are actually. All right.
Thank you.
So
Thank
why
you.
don't you
And
think?
so are you actually. Like
Hmm.
you're achieving so much at such a young age. Like I was actually talking to my mother about you. Like you're
So
so young and still flourishing so well. Like it's very good to see. Like I see that vigor in young people nowadays, and it fills my heart. It's just so good. Like very nice. Very proud of you actually.
thank you, ma'am. Thank you. All right. Why don't you think starting teaching entrepreneurship or share some insights with people or viewers about something which you have learned so far in through your channel and all? Because it will also be so worthful, right? You will teach
Yeah, right.
about your experience.
Yeah, I did think that like I once I maybe get myself into a stable position, maybe
Mm,
I will start something related to communications and interview facing and all that stuff because that is my personal strength. So yeah, I could probably
so is
impart
this
that
your
knowledge,
first
whatever I
company?
have learned.
Sorry to interrupt, but is this your first company,
Yeah.
Tata, or you have worked more companies earlier, in your life?
No, this is my first company. Yeah, this is my first company. Like I joined it right after my college.
So it is the first, company wherein you have cracked your interview for the first time, or several times.
Actually, the second time I first cracked my interview for ITC and then here.
ITC, good.
Yeah.
And then afterwards you move towards Tata. Yeah, right.
Yeah, right. Actually, I joined TCS in 2020, and that was a full-fledged corona that time was going on. So
Hmm.
I had to join somewhere that was near my home. So TCS was a company that was providing me in Kolkata location. So I joined there. Yeah.
Nice.
Otherwise, I feel like both the companies were lucrative enough for me. Like, not much of a difference.
I would like you to share three approaches to have influential communication skill. Teach people
Okay, three approaches. Three
approaches.
approaches in the sense, okay, first thing I feel like is maintaining eye contact. That is a very underrated and a daunting phase. I know for a lot of people, keeping eye contact while talking it becomes a very, daunting thing for them to do. But once you maintain eye contact, that speaks volumes. So yeah, keeping eye contact is my first go-to thing in order to be good at communication.
All right.
Second is, for good communication, we feel that. speaking fluently is enough, or just speaking in big words is enough. That is actually not true. Just use simple words, whatever language you're speaking, just use simple words so that your thought is put out clearly. You
So
don't
that you
have to
can
use
convey
big words.
your message, right?
Exactly, exactly. Just convey your feelings in the simplest words you can. That is actually the key to good communication. And the third, I will be saying, like, be confident with whatever you have. Like, you may be at a level different from others. Your level of vocabulary or communication level might be different from others. It could be high, it could be low. But whatever it is, just be confident. And of course, with practice comes perfection. So yeah, we all have a mirror. Go practice.
Exactly. Affirmation actually
Yeah.
plays a very massive role, right? Self talk.
Yes, of course. Like, just keep that saying that yes, wherever I am, I'm good. Wherever it is going, it's good. Just trust yourself and just keep going forward. Trusting yourself is the, like, I feel for myself at least it worked best. So I keep saying that to others too.
No, not nice actually. And communication skill, you have shared very valuable insights, right, from your
Thank
experience.
you.
And what do you
Yeah.
think about, tell me five analogy between job and business, like people who are in the industry which is so hectic, like you are working and giving 9 hours to your industry and gaining experience and knowledge at the same time. What about
Yeah.
people who have desire and who have enthusiasm towards starting their own startup while working in
Yeah.
the company for 5 to 6 hour max?
Yeah.
So do you have any tips for the person who is working as well and have a conviction towards starting their own business at the same time?
Yeah. I actually feel like in order to do that, they first need to know what is their, like, in what section or what domain they want to proceed with their business. And you're talking about mostly like time management, right? Like, how
Management,
do they manage their
their
time
time.
for like 9 hours of this and then that? I will
Exactly.
say that they do have to sacrifice, from my personal experience, what I have seen. Like, if you want to achieve more, you gotta sacrifice some things. So maybe like cut out some portions of your sleep,
Mm,
like just squeeze in a few more hours of work towards the passion that you have. And I feel like if you're truly driven towards something, whether it's a business or any other
mm,
entrepreneurship, whatever it is you're driven towards, I feel like taking out maybe just 1 to 2 hour each day is
enough.
not really a big deal, even if
Not a big deal.
it's a 9 hour work schedule. And also we have weekends, right? And IT does give us that opportunity of working 5 days a week and having 2 days completely to us. So
Mm.
utilize those two. Instead of sleeping till 12 p.m. on Saturdays and Sundays,
Watching it
get up
in
early,
the, yeah, yeah, yeah,
workouts
Netflix and all.
done. Exactly. And just keep working towards your dream. Like I said, right? Like the initial phase will be of a struggle. So you'll feel like, oh my God, I'm working so many hours. I'm not even getting enough sleep in the weekends. Yes, you will lose sleep. You will feel tired a little bit, but trust me, it's gonna be rewarding once you're over that mountain phase. So
Exactly.
after that, it's gonna be a green valley, lush green valley, and you're gonna reap the benefits once the things start coming in. So yeah, like you gotta put in just 1 hour a day. I'm not asking more, just 1 hour a day. And I feel like that sometimes can work wonders. 1 hour a day is actually 365 hours a year, right? And that can be a huge difference. That can actually, like, it's compounded, right? So obviously every day you're not starting from zero, you're starting from where you left the previous day, right? That can actually culminate into a very big result by the end of the year. So yeah, I feel like even if we are all working people, giving 1 hour or 2 hours, maybe even while you're traveling. Say some
Mm,
people actually, I've seen a lot of people even working during their travel hours. So, for example, I actually have 3 hours of travel. I mostly like write stories or read storybooks during my travel hours. So utilize those few hours that you have, those few extra hours that maybe where you were thinking like I'm getting wasted, I'm not doing
mm.
anything. So just utilize those few hours. Then you won't even have to sacrifice a lot of your sleep time or anything. Yeah, there's that. I
So,
feel that way they could definitely do it.
so if I will conclude what you have shared through your insight, that people should manage their time wisely, right? And
That's right.
they should not squander their time watching OTT platforms and movies, web series, if they want
Well,
to, yeah, if they want to achieve something.
actually, no, actually, you know what? Watching Netflix or OTT is not wrong. Like, of course, go watch it. I'm just talking about limiting the time. Like, maybe if someone was not driven towards a passion, maybe they would complete an entire series in, say, 2, 3 days. Okay.
Hmm.
What I'm saying is stretch it out, complete in a month. Who is stopping you, right? But also utilize that little. Maybe you were watching the OTT for 1 hour.
All
Instead
right.
of watching it for 1 hour, watch 15 minutes and the rest of the 45 minutes you work for your dream. That's all I'm asking. I'm not saying cut it off completely
It
because, come on,
complete.
no
Mm,
one can live without entertainment, right? Like, we
without
all
effect.
need some free time. So
Mm.
just limit it a little bit, limit it to a little span rather than
Limited
just
to little
flowing.
bit. Nice word, nice title.
Yes, that's the thing. Limited to a little time. So that's the thing.
Because we need to sacrifice something if you want to achieve something
Something.
level
Exactly.
beyond our works, right? So at the expense of
Exactly.
something, mm,
Obviously. Like, if you gotta achieve something, you gotta give
do
something too.
something.
Like, no pains, no gains. Like,
No
this
pain.
is an age old saying, right?
Jack Ma also
So yeah,
said in his seminar that today is difficult, tomorrow is much more difficult, but day after tomorrow will be
exactly.
beautiful, right?
Exactly. Like, actually, this thing works in a very literal term. You'll see if, like, people work out, right? They go to the gym and all. You'll
Mm,
see working out on the first day, you will probably go with a motivation like, yeah, I'm going to lose weight and something. But going that second day with the body pain, that
mm,
becomes a lot more difficult than going the first day, right? But on the third day, when
mm,
your body is like a little more suited to the routine, it
mm,
becomes kind of a habit like, okay, let's go, and
mm.
that's how you build a habit, and then going 1 hour to the gym becomes a normal for you. If you
Exactly.
don't go, that's when you feel like, I think I missed something, kind of like that. So that's how you achieve your dream, and then after a year you look at your body and then like, damn, I achieved something. So
Yeah,
that's the
you
way,
get a kind of transformation in yourself, right?
exactly, just a little bit of time you provide to yourself, and
Mm.
that's how you achieve big things.
It will
Like,
turn
why
out to
not
be a
just 1 hour? That's really not. Exactly. It actually gives massive returns. Just
mm,
little effort gives massive returns too in the
massive
long run.
result, massive result in terms of intangible. Like right now, I will not get to see that. Oh wow, how gigantic it is, but it will accumulate, right? It will have a compound
Exactly.
effect,
That's why I said in the long run. That's
long
exactly
run.
why I said in the long run. Just
Exactly.
like stocks, you were talking about stocks. So
Mm.
just like in stocks, like
Stocks.
everything, I feel like compounding is a huge effect it has on our life. Whether we see it or not, compounding does have a huge effect on us.
Exactly. So I would like to finish the podcast with one quotation, and I want to
Yes.
hear that quotation from your side. What is your favorite three quotes that inspires you
Favorite
and
three
ignites you?
quotes.
Mm, ignite.
Okay, it's quite difficult actually to quote like that, but I will say that sayings of APJ Abdul Kalam actually motivate me a lot. Like his sayings, like work freely with a free mind and just fearlessly. These things inspire me a lot. Like APJ Abdul Kalam, his personality and his works,
Mm.
they inspire me a lot. So I wouldn't exactly say any particular quote as such, but yes, APJ Abdul Kalam is one person that I will
APJ
say
Abdul Kalam
inspires me a
actually,
lot.
if you when it comes to speaks, something about APJ Abdul Kalam. He said one very specific and very kind of prolific and phenomenal thing in his book. He said, if you want to shine like a sun, you have to burn like a sun. So if you want
Yes,
to become a millionaire in your life, you have to go through that
yes.
severe condition as well, right?
I think that actually culminates our this conversation very beautifully today. Like, this is actually the saying that probably goes perfectly for
Exactly.
this conversation that we had. Yeah.
Right. So thank you so much, Sanchita, Day,
And
for
thank you for having me. Yes. Yes. Thank you for having me on your show. And like, thank you for giving this opportunity. Yes. And it was lovely talking to you.
me too. I have learned many things from you. lot of things I learned in the realm of communication, time management, startup business, investing, right, quotation as well.
And I actually learned more about quotations from you. You seem to be a very like person who reads a lot of like, bios and biographies and stuffs, right? Like
Yeah, I read
you're
books.
like you're so young and still you're like you talk in a very matured way. That's very refreshing in today's world. So really lovely talking to you.
Thank you. We will again do the podcast. We will again organize our, podcast at some point, right? Further in life.
Sure, sure, sure. Yes, I would really love that.
Yeah. And thank you, viewers, to watch our podcast. If you have any queries or whatever you have conclude in your mind, then comment me and share your insights with us. Thank you. Thanks.
Thank you.
All right.